Here on M5-124, we're just kind of going to do a review of some of the formulas we use for volume. So it says, write the formula for the volume of each solid. You use V for volume, B for the area of the base, H for height, R for radius, and the pi symbol for pi. So some of these we haven't done in a while. So rectangular prism. Now, most of them, it's basically the base, whatever that base is, times height. And in this case, because the base is a square, that's length times width. So really, that full volume is length times width times height. For the triangular prism, it's kind of the same. It's base times height, because it's always just like, what is that flat area that's on the bottom times, how many of those areas can you stack up? But what the base is changing. So because this is a triangle, it's whatever that triangle is. So a lot of times it's like that length times width divided by 2 because it's a triangle times the height. For a rectangular pyramid, it's actually very similar to a cone where we kind of think about what shape it fits in, and it's 1/3 of that. So a rectangular pyramid fits inside a rectangular prism. So we're going to take the rectangular prism that it fits over, or fits inside of, and divide it by 3. So in reality, that would be the length, the times width, times the height, all divided by 3. For a triangular pyramid, it's kind of similar. It's 1/3 of the triangular prism. So that's whatever the area of that triangle is. So that length times width divided by 2, all that times the height, and then that divided by 3. Probably happy we didn't have to do those in this lesson. And then here are the familiar ones, the ones we've been working on. So for the cylinder, it's still base times height, but the base is a circle, in which case that's pi radius squared times the height. Cone is 1/3 of that. So that would be pi radius squared height divided by 3, and a sphere is 2/3 of a cylinder. Now you could write it that way, but remember we learned that when you combine it with the fact that the height is actually 2 of the radius and all that stuff, it ends up being 4/3 pi radius cubed. So that's just kind of a nice reminder of what we're working with. And I know these look very complicated and you're like, oh my god, how would I ever remember them? But you can always Google what these volume equations are.